And we are live on the live LUF Lounge. It's Saturday, 5 o'clock. Well, it's 6 minutes past 5, and that's one of the things I have to work hard on. I'm always a couple of minutes late, and you know what? I've even set my watch fast so that I'm not late. Does anyone else do things like that? We're a bit crazy sometimes, aren't we? I've got a good idea, so I'm not late in future. I'll set my watch a little bit fast, and then I'm still late. So apologies for that. We're a few minutes late. Hi, Julie Cahill. Do you know, Julie, you've been threatening to come on this live LUF Lounge for forever, because we've been doing this now for, 18 months? Tonight is a little bit... Hi, Chris, you all right, mate? Tonight's a little bit different. Hi, Andy Campbell. Oh, Andy, you're still there, fighting the good fight. Tonight's a little bit different. Instead of us doing it like, as a Zoom call and, hand-picking people who come on and tell us about what's going on, we just thought, let's try something new, man. Let's evolve, because that which doesn't evolve stagnates and dies. And we want to keep a flow, right? We want to keep it real to what the Lancashire User Forum's values are. And what we say is that it's for anyone who's interested or affected by substance misuse and the issues that revolve around it, criminal justice, mental health, poverty, and here's a new one for you. Addiction comes in many forms, doesn't it? I know people who've stopped using all kinds of mind-altering substances, but they're still addicted to chaos. There's different forms of addiction, isn't it? Alcohol isn't just the only one. Drugs aren't the only one. There's gambling, and they're just the serious issues, man. People take their lives over things like that. So what we wanted to do was say, right, our value tonight is about commitment. That's our value. That's the discussion topic. So if you want to come on and have a conversation that revolves around commitment, then you're welcome to do so, because I would love to have that conversation with anybody who's interested or affected by the issues that we all know about. And I think the other thing is, it's really, really important that we keep this space diverse and inclusive. And one of the things I've been thinking about, hiya Bev, you're awesome, you. Do you know that I couldn't do what I do without you, Bev? Bev is a driving force for the Lancashire User Forum. One of the things that I think we need to be mindful of is that, and it's great, there's lots of talk now, there's lots of opportunities for people who've got a lived experience to use that lived experience in a positive light, and let's not say any lived experience is more valuable than any other, because we don't want to reverse stigmatise people who have a different lived experience. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, if you are using your lived experience to bring about social change, then that's brilliant, and I applaud that. So there's lots of opportunities for people to use their lived experience to bring about social change and to help other people. But when you've had a lived experience of mental health, substance misuse, criminal justice, and some of the adverse childhood effects, and some of the huge amounts of trauma that I see on a day-to-day basis, and then you go and work for an organisation that traditionally has provided employment opportunities for a different group of people who've come through different pathways and don't have those same experiences, then I think they need to think hard about inclusion and how they're going to include people with a lived experience within those systems, because what we don't want is people to go in with a great intention to help others, and you know, and we know because William White, who's a leading light, has said, you know, in some of the many papers that he's written, that people with a lived experience can transmit hope way better than people who haven't, you know, when it comes to working with a particular client group. So what we don't want is, you know, that lived experience to be kind of hijacked and not appreciated in terms of how you would include somebody into your team. So you know, they're just some of the things that I'm thinking about. I'm committed to making sure that changes, which is why, you know, I want to, in my day-to-day role, in Red Rose Recovery. So I've not even introduced myself. Is there anyone on this stream who don't know who I am? I'm Peter Yarwood, and I work for a charity, a lived experience recovery organisation that has a national reputation called Red Rose Recovery. And in that charity, one of my roles, one of the things I oversee is making sure training is up to scratch, and that's internal, you know, making sure our guys have got access to training and personal development, but also externally, making sure that organisations who are employing people with a lived experience understand what their needs are and how best to support them. And the caveat there is, I'm not trying to say I'm the oracle. What I am trying to say is that we need more people, and we need more people to come together and not fight with each other, because we lose then. We all lose then, don't we? We want to be, you know, we want to be under one banner, and I think it's good if nobody owns that banner. So the Lancashire User Forum isn't commissioned. You know, when you look at what we've accomplished through lockdown, we've reached, in terms of the numbers of people, we've got the data, it's not far off 1 million people. That's phenomenal for a group that isn't commissioned, you know, and many of the leadership within Red Rose Recovery work for Red Rose Recovery. You know, sorry, many of the leadership in the Lancashire User Forum work for Red Rose Recovery, but they're not paid to hold this space. They do it because they care about the people they work with, and they love doing it. So that's why they do it. I'm really struggling to read the comments and to open up this stream, but I think if you want to come into this space, there's probably a button you can press to say, can I come in? And you're welcome to press it, and I'm a bit nervous because someone might come in and kick me head in. Please be nice to me. But it's, again, you know, this is an open platform for any of you to come in and have a chat about, you know, commitment. One of the things that I mentioned just before on our preamble was that education is really important, and I would hope that many of you starting your journeys on recovery, one of the first things you do is prioritise education, and I, you know, I left. So Emily's saying, yeah, press the join request. I don't know where that button is. Is that to me, Emily? Do I press join request? But anyway, I'm just going to shout out a few of the guys here whose names are coming up. Darren Marina. Darren, you run an organisation that I look to with inspiration. You're part of what's called the Lex Leadership, and man, I love you. Right, so I've got a red thing here. I'm going to press it. I think someone might want to come on. Oh no, is that a comment? I think it might be. Approved, Darren. So I'm hoping that you're coming on, Darren.
Hi, Peter.
And
How are you?
oh man, great.
You all right?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Great to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Inspirational words as always from you.
Thank you. What are you up to?
I'm just taking a day off for a change because, you know, like yourselves, it's been a non-stop 18 months and just watching a little bit of football at the moment, mate. But I thought I'd check into the live lounge because it's incredible what you guys are doing in Lancashire, and you really are leading the way for lived experience leaders. So I just wanted to pop in, say carry on what you're doing, Peter. We all recognise the hard work you were all doing in there, and reaching over 1 million people is absolutely incredible. Keep going, bro. Yeah. All the love from experts.
I tell you what, we're nearly. It's just 800,000, so we're not quite at 1 million. But for the guys that are in Lancashire, tell us just before you go a little bit about Expert Citizens and what you do and how you set it up, Darren, please.
Yeah, so Expert Citizens is a small community interest company. We're based in Stoke, but we work on a sort of national level, influencing level, trying to influence, you know, national policy, working with lots of different funders to create new funds for organisations like yourself, and really trying to get the message out there that people's lived experience is knowledge, and that knowledge is really powerful. Trauma is powerful, and let's use that power to make social change. So just a little bit about what we do, but you know, this is your evening, and this is about all the guys in Lancashire and the incredible work you're all doing. And I hope to see you soon, mate, and keep doing what you're doing, Peter. And brilliant, mate.
Thank you very much, Darren. Enjoy football, mate.
Cheers, fella. See you soon. Whoa.
What a guy. What a guy. And I think there's many of us who you know, have overcome so much in our life, only if we come together under a banner, you know, and start to look at ways that our voice can shape the design, shape the system, because it does need changing, doesn't it? There has to be some change, and I think who better to influence what that change looks like. One of the again, I'm just going to throw out some opportunities till I see that little red button, because any of yous can come in here now and just say hi, and that'd be really great. One of the things that I recognised when I was coming through, I was quite angry, and I was angry for a few reasons. One, because I was hurting, I had a lot of pain, and two, because I didn't know how to articulate what was going on, what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and it manifested as anger. And then, you know, I'm really, really grateful to a number. There's too many to mention, but I'll mention a couple of them. One of them was a prison officer, and there was many prison officers who were there for me when I needed them, because if it wasn't for prison, I'd be dead, because, you know, life would be that bad for me that, you know, and I didn't know how to navigate the system. But what I did know is if I committed crime, then I'd get locked up. And if I was locked up, then I would get some sort of help, because I just knew I was going to die. And and it was really painful watching the hurt and the pain that I was causing to the people that I loved. So I'm really grateful for the prison system, and I'm really passionate about getting back in there. But also for the substance misuse workers who dealt with me when I was, you know, at a really dark place, and sometimes, you know, I would say and behave in a way that I'm really ashamed about and embarrassed. And every time, and there's one person who I always think about. She's called Jackie. A few of you will know her. She's a force for good. But I abused her one day, and I'm still, every time I think about it, I just die with embarrassment, because she didn't meter out to me that which I meted out to her. She met me with compassion, understanding, and she helped me get through where I needed to get through. And it's people like that who do that day in, day out. You know, they work with people who are in really bad places, you know. So this by no way isn't an affront to any of them. It's just saying that I think some changes need to happen. And I think people with a lived experience, they should have a seat around that table. And one of the things, one of the reasons why Lancashire has got two really strong Indigenous recovery communities, and many others who are up and coming and growing, and I think it's fabulous. But one of the reasons why we've got that is because there's a group of people who advocate for us, and they open doors of opportunity for us to have a seat around that table. But once we get around that table, it's important that we understand the conversation, understand the system, understand how it works, and that comes by experience. And we have this each one teach one philosophy. So I don't know any other, and please tell me if you know. I don't know any other recovery organisation that provides training around communication, you know, around the ability to communicate. And we have what's called a speaker boot camp, and on the 14th of September we'll be taking about 6 or 7 people into HMP Hindley, and some of those people are less than a year out of custody, you know, from serving life sentence prison sentences, you know, and they're going back in to tell some of those prisoners that, you know, your journey doesn't start when you hit the gate. Your community is inside your wall, and you have the power to make a difference in that community. And we're dead fortunate in Lancashire, because some of the prisons commission us to go in and deliver that training to prisoners. And it's not just about having an ability to articulate, you know, to learn a new vernacular and present yourself in a really comprehensive way using words. It's not about that. I think it's about your body language, your tone and your pitch, and knowing when to be quiet and when to listen. And there's some of the things that our guys will learn on that. So, I mean, you tell me, you're our like plumb line. That's how we weigh and measure if that training, if we're going to get it accredited, because you've been on it, many of you have been on it, and the feedback that we've had is that it builds confidence, you know, and I think that's one of the things that our guys have said, you know, when they come on the live LUF Lounge and share their story, they build confidence. And that's what you need, confidence, to go out into that world where, you know, because you've experienced a lot of trauma and pain, you've created a mindset that the majority of the population are going to hurt you or going to block you, and that's not true. You know, I found the majority of people, they want to help, they want to support. We've just got to make it really easy for them to do that. And I think, you know, when I speak to some of the guys and listen to their stories and skills, I'm blown away, because I think, you know, there's enough opportunities to go around. So I've got a bit of a request to you guys. Have we got anyone who is artistic who can come and tell us a poem, or can come and sing us a song, or play as a tune on a guitar? Because I'm useless when it comes to that, but I think it'd be great if someone from our community come on and like dig deep and go, I mean, all right, I'll do it, I'll have a go. Because I know there's poets out there, I know there's wordsmiths out there, I know there's people out there. So I'm going to flick through some of these names and just shout out, because there's a few. So Julie Cahill, come on, dig deep and press that button. Come and say hi to everyone. Andy Campbell, I've not seen you for ages. Come and tell us how you're doing. Chris, you just, you know, don't you? I don't have to say it, you know, man. Martino Antonazzo, that's a wicked name, isn't it? We've got Andy Campbell, we've got Joe Gallagher. Right, Julie Cahill saying, invite me, Pete. Well, I'm inviting you. You just have to press that button and say, I want to come on, and then I'll let you come on. So, I don't, or maybe I can press that button and say, bring Julie. Oh, right, I've invited you. Here we go. Oh, it says I can't bring Julie on camera. See? So if you want me to invite you on, just say it. I'll scroll down to the bottom because there's loads of comments now. So Julie said I've pressed it. Right, I'm going to press it again, Julie, and say, bring you on camera. It says I can't bring you on camera, Julie. I don't know why. Donna Feeney is saying, hello from Hull Unity Day. Have a top day. We've got Steve B, Andy Brown, Paul Smithson. Oh, there's loads. There's loads watching. I bet if all of you guys hit that share button, we'd get that number up even higher, wouldn't we? Bev Webster is saying, I can't, I'm in my pyjamas and I've had an hectic day, and my goldfish is swimming backwards, and like the cat's meowing and all that. So it's like, all right, Bev. We've got Claire. Come on, Claire, come and say hello. Catherine. Emily is watching. Now, Emily, I know you're not shy, so come and say hello. We've got Nick Red. Tim Selden, we've got Joe Gallagher, Diane Seville, come and say hi. Oh, we've got someone who's saying hi now. Here we go. Julie Cahill, right, come on then, Julie. Right, it's adding, Julie. So it's got that circle of doom a bit, hasn't it? Right, Julie Cahill.
I'm here. Hello.
Hello. Lovely to meet you.
Hi. Finally, we've been able to speak face to face.
Do you know, you've been on this journey with us, Julie, for a good 18 months. Your name's come up. You've been a huge supporter. So finally, using this platform, we've been able to like connect. I think that's brilliant. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm actually doing really well, to be fair. I've been in recovery overall now for about 4 years. I did 14 months, and I didn't have the tools to kind of like keep myself safe, so to speak. So I relapsed at a Christmas time, and I got myself back up and running. I've been back in now 14, 15, 16 months, I think it is. And maybe a bit longer than that. I've can't calculate at the moment. I don't try to count as much, to be fair. I just keep everything in the day. I've got myself a sponsor now, fantastic sponsor. He's 33 years under his belt of sobriety. And he took me through the 12 steps program, and he took me vigorously through it by explaining word for word. I did DVDs with him of Joe and Charlie, and it resonated with me. Finally, the penny dropped, and it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a hard journey. I do a 24-hour reprieve. I have a 10-year-old child who's Thomas, who's a lovely child, and I'm just glad that I can be there for him today and be a good mum, basically. But yeah, I'm doing really, really well, and I enjoy doing the live lounge with you because it's, you know, there's people on here that I listen to. You know, you bring the singers on and everything, and it's such an inspiration. It was my sister Denise who told me about this, and from then onwards I've been popping in, you know, in and out of watching yous and everything. But I do go to AA meetings. I've been to one this morning, I went to one last night. I keep myself in the mix to keep myself safe, so to speak. But yeah, it's been an unusual but fantastic journey, to be fair.
You know, you mentioned a few interesting points there. I think there's a difference, isn't there, by knowing the literature, but then having it in your heart and living it. And what I see is that you know, it's something that you've got to practice on a daily basis. It's not just something that you can do. It's like, all right, I've done it, fixed. It's a lifestyle, isn't it? And one of the things we do, Julie, is we have what's called a church on the streets, and it's founded in Christianity, but you don't have to be a Christian to learn some principles.
No.
And I've yet to meet anyone who challenges us when we say it's about a spiritual awakening. It's about understanding that as beings, that there is something bigger than us. Try to run for Dad's taxi.
Yeah, I get it. The penny doesn't drop, and it took me a while, you know, to learn that you don't have to be a relapser and keep getting back on the wheel, so to speak. I mean, I've never done drugs. Drugs has never been my thing, my forte. I know I've never been a normal drinker. Looking back and investigating through my past life, I was always first out. I was always last home. I never remembered getting home. You know, I used to go back in work and people said, "Oh, do you have a good weekend?" And I say, "Yeah, I've had a fantastic weekend. What did you do?" And I couldn't tell them because I never remembered.
Yeah.
I got myself in that much of a state that I just didn't know where I was and what I was doing. You know, and the life that I have today in sobriety is just so unfounded. It's unbelievable. I've met some fantastic people on my journey, and I've got a few family members who obviously they've not got my madness of a head, but they do try to support me in an utmost 110% way. And without them and good friends around me, I probably wouldn't be here today, to be fair.
So do you think that, it's just a question, do you think that the 12 steps is something that people who haven't got a problem with drink or drugs but could apply those principles in their life and see improvement?
I think so. I've said many times in my shares in the AA, it'd be a wonderful thing if Mr. and Mrs. Smith, so to speak, on the street, who don't have these addictions that we suffer from and the illnesses, that if they applied this 12 steps principles you know, what's suggested to us to help us have the tools to stay well, that they'd have a better life as well. I mean, I've actually said, I'm actually glad that I became an alcoholic to get the life that's been presented to me today.
They call it the gift of desperation, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, people say, oh, how can you not have a drink? But I know I can't have a drink because I know where it'll lead. It brings back the cravings, it'll bring the obsession back to the mind, and it'll just set me back out in the madness again. And that's no life. That's not the life I want. Definitely not. I enjoy the life that I've got today, you know, and I've just today become a 12-stepper where, you know, if the office rings me to help any newcomers around, you know, I'm willing to go and pick them up and take them to meetings and get them back on, you know, a good track that I'm already on today. It's fabulous, honestly, it really is. I'd recommend it to anybody that's not even got an addiction, but they're happy doing their thing and I'm happy doing my thing. You know, I'm not there to promote it. I'm there just to say this is what my life's about, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. More power to you. Well, thank you for coming on. Really brave of you.
Thank you very much for having me. And anytime, I'll always come back on it, you know, to help people.
Yeah, nice one. And I think, you know, it's great that we've got people like you out there who have a real servant's heart, you know, who've been through the mill, but are still willing to like put some extra work in to help others. I think it's a beautiful thing. So, good on. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. You take care. You too. See you soon. Bye.
See you soon, Julie.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hope you're all still there, and apologies for that. So glad to have met Julie. We've seen the name flash up, and there's other names who have seen flash up on here, and I think, who is it? You know, it's like, it's a great tool, isn't it, to connect with people, but sometimes we want to, you know, have that like face-to-face connection as well, don't we? And as we come out of lockdown, one of the things I'm a bit sad about is because commitments are value for tonight, and we're committed to a couple of annual events. One of them is the camp, the annual LUF stock, and we've missed it this year. And the other one is the Drink and Drug News Conference, where each year we take about 40 people down to Birmingham, and we attend a conference which enables us to connect with peers from all over the UK. And you know what? Hands down, every time we come back from that conference, the guys on the coach are really, really humbled, because what we've got in Lancashire, they haven't got in other parts of the UK, and that's a shame, because what that means is there's not only lots of people who are struggling, there's lots of family members who are struggling as well, and they don't know where to go and how to reach out. And one of the things I'm committed to is empowering people. So I don't generally want to do things for people that they can do for themselves. I'd rather support them to learn how to do it and then do it for themselves. One of the ways we do that, a couple of weeks ago, we had our Family Matters. It's a mutual aid online network, support network for family members, and we're commissioned by CGL to occupy that space and provide support for the family members, but we've took it a step further. So we've got a space that you can tap into, run by our staff, but we've also trained up family members who are willing to hold that space for themselves. So we've got a family matters, and then we've got a families matter. It's the two different things, but one of them is completely independent and very, very private. And what we do as an organisation is we provide the infrastructure. So we've created the platform, trained them how to do it, and then said, we're here if you need us, but this is your meeting, this is your space, and you have a different experience to ours, but the concept is the same. You create a therapeutic, you know, when you start having those conversations with people who've got a similar experience, something therapeutic takes place. And we all know that, but some of the family members don't. And what I would say to you is, if you want to know about that, we've got a whole library of live LUF lounges, and I'm going to pull Stephen's. He did a quick 2-minute soundbite, and he tells you what it's about, and I'm going to pull that off and get one of our media team to just promote it out there so other family members can access that support network. Because I think it's great that, you know, there's millions of pounds pumped into treatment, and we need more, but we can't leave the family members behind, can we? So, oh, I've got another button here. So who's coming in? I've got two. So we've got Michael, right? I think Julie has been in. So, do you want to come in again, Julie? I'm not sure, but I know Michael's coming in. So, it's just saying that we're adding and we're connecting. Michael.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, I'm in the Isle of Man.
You're in the Isle of Man?
Yeah, originally from Yorkshire, a place just outside Leeds called Batley. But I've been over here about 20 odd years, and I was just picking up on what the lady that was on before saying about, you know, did she take a while to get into the steps and that, and get into the work and get a sponsor? Because I went to rehab in Northern Ireland in 2011.
Yeah.
In a bad state after losing everything for the second time. I mean, the story's horrendous, which it is with a lot of alcoholics, but I came back a lot better than I went. You know, I spent like 3 months in a rehab in Northern Ireland, came back onto the Isle of Man, but over the last 10 years, just going to the meetings, thought that was enough to keep me sober, and it wasn't. And it took me 10 years to get a sponsor and finally get into the work, and you know, and then now that obsession's gone, but it's still early days for me, but I'm like 80 days clean now, but it's just, I don't know why it's taken so long, and then the pennies just dropped, and like I'm getting onto all these Zoom meetings now and doing a meeting a day and getting into, you know, got onto the step work. I've got a sponsor that I picked up in Salford doing through a Zoom meeting, and I just can't, well, I'm here now, I'm in it, you know, and I get it now, but it's just mad, isn't it, how it takes so long, and I'm 57, and my drinking started back in the 80s. I was in the posted in Germany in the army just after the Falklands War, and I was in the carnage of all that. The guys coming back from the Falklands as an 18-year-old soldier and got caught up in a load of drinking and all sorts that went on over there for a good few years. That was the start of it. Well, it started a bit before that, but the serious drinking started over there, and then I did all right for a while when I come out of the army. Not continued drinking, but got into the building trade and learned the trade as a roof slater and built a business up and did all right, and then lost it all. Went bust, bankrupt, and the journey after that, come to the Isle of Man because a friend had a business over here. Started again, did it again, got another house, got married, lost it all again, and it was 2011 when I was more or less homeless drunk. Went to a rehab in Northern Ireland, at a Christian rehab, became a Christian over there, and started the recovery journey. But there's been that, just struggle, relapse. But I had pastors in the church telling me that God saved you and has delivered you from alcoholism. You don't need to go to AA meetings and all that. So I'll get mixed messages from pastors and stuff in churches, but I was in and out of the rooms as well as going, doing my best under my own steam, trying to get it all together. But the penny didn't drop until my last relapse my last relapse was 22nd of May, and it didn't end good. I ended up in police custody again, and I thought, you gotta get it back into the room, so I started doing some Zoom meetings.
So
Have you had
what's different now then?
Oh no, something's just changed. Something has just changed. I remember I was having a drink in the pub on the 22nd of May, and I was halfway through a pint, and they just put it down, and they said, "It's enough." And I got back into the rooms. I'm in the fellowship over here on the Isle of Man, but I needed more than that because there wasn't enough regular meetings, so I started doing it in the Zoom. And have you heard of the Shinny Show? James Davenport.
Yeah, no, Shinny's a pal. Yeah.
I've been following him for ages, and he was saying like the recovery is the new cool. And I listened to his show that we're doing live on every morning, and I thought, he's got it all together, man. He's got some of this guy. He's in the gym every day.
Yeah.
He's making recovery sound attractive. He's in the gym, he's eating well, he's looking good.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got back. You were doing that All Fellowships Anonymous, and I thought, well, drugs has never been my thing, but I went on a CA meeting, and it's all alcohols, drugs, whatever it is, gambling, all addictions, just the same, innit? And I found the meetings, Zoomy. I made so many connections and that, guys who ring me all the time now from across Manchester, Liverpool area, who I talk to nearly every day. And it's just different, but I just don't know. The thing that baffles me is why it's taken so long. And my sponsor keeps saying, don't dwell on the past, don't dwell on the past. You're here now, you're here. You've got it, Yeah. So I want to get through the steps, and then, hopefully I can help somebody else pass the message on, because I've got a lot of things I've been through that I could steer people away from if.
Was it easy to access rehab, or was that a difficult process?
No, it was a Christian rehab. So there's a Christian recovery group called Staros. I don't know if you heard of them, but they were formed in Glasgow, and now they're in Glasgow, Ireland. They're in America, and I've been attending their meetings on the Isle of Man, and the guy who runs it, he got me into the rehab over there, which was really good. very good rehab. But then when I started going to his meetings, I was going twice. No, he runs 2 meetings a week now, but in them days, 10 years ago, it was just 1 meeting a week. And being an everyday drinker for as long as I can remember, I thought, I go to this meeting on a Thursday night, don't have a drink. And then he said, do you fancy coming to church on a Sunday? So I went to church on a Sunday. And I put them 2 days in my diary. I thought I got a result because I wasn't drinking. I thought, right, you can get pissed the rest of the week, and you just keep Thursday and Sunday free, and you're doing well. Never, unbelievable. And he said, no, he said, I think you need to go away.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And then I came back, and I'd like have 5 or 6 weeks doing my best, 5 or 6 weeks clean, relapse, couple of months, relapse.
Yeah.
It's been like that for the last 10 years. Never been able to let go.
Yeah. And do you think?
And it's been horrendous. The places it's taken me, alcohol is unbelievable. Taking all my money, bankrupt my business, put me in prison at one stage.
So you're starting again at 57.
Yeah.
Good on you, man. Good on you.
Yeah, but I've got a nice little flat. I've got a lot to be grateful for.
Good.
It's because, like I say, over the last 10 years, generally I've been doing good, but it's been these relapses.
Yeah.
And these there's a danger when you relapse that you could go back to the way you might not come back from it. Luckily, I've relapsed. I've gone on a bender for a couple of weeks or 10 days or whatever, and then what I've learned over the years, I've pulled yourself together, and it's been hard. Then I've got sober again, then going back out. It's been mad, and that's harder than ever doing that. That's hard.
You make a couple of really good points. Staying connected with people and making sure you're accountable. The other point is when you relapse, it could be the last time. One of my good pals relapsed, and I'm thankful that I was able to get him into detox really, really quickly.
Yeah.
He didn't have to jump through hoops. We've got some really, really good people who made sure he got the treatment he needed. But by then, it just gone too far, and I think it's a real crying shame. There's too many people dying, which is why I think the system needs to change. Listen, it's really great speaking to you. Thanks for tuning in from the Isle of Man.
Yeah. Can I just say one other thing?
Yeah.
When I heard your testimony, a few months ago,
right,
and I'm one of your guys actually rung me up, and he got me. Have you got an app, a Red Rose app that you can get on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he told me all about that, but it wouldn't let me download it for some reason. But I've followed the page and that, and I like what you're doing. It's so good.
Oh, thanks. What phone have you got?
I've got a Samsung Galaxy 6, I think it is.
Well, you might have to, because sometimes people have tried to download it from the iPhone App Store. You'll have to download it from the other apps.
Android.
But yeah, Android one. But if you're having problems, just go on our website and tell Scott, our media man, just drop a message, and he'll help you sort it out. He's good like that.
Yeah. And when something else I'm going to say. So when I came over here working, there was a big boom in the construction trade. Quite a lot of lads came over, and I can count about 20 or 30 of them that are gone now, all under all under 55, all through drink and drugs over here. You know, and over here, what they do over here, it all gets pushed under carpet. It don't come out in the media. There's a serious problem with alcohol and drugs over here.
Well, we need to do something about that, don't we? And that's one of the things we can do when we start to come together and unite, you know. And I think it's absolutely brilliant that you're tuning in from the Isle of Man,
Yeah.
you know, and what we've got is, you know, a platform that can connect us globally. So more power to you, and sign up and become a member so you get regular updates.
I will do, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Lovely talking to you. Have a lovely evening, yeah?
You too, mate. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. So we've got guys from the Isle of Man. You know, I think we should give a prize out for someone who tunes in from the farthest part of the planet. So who knows? Maybe we'll do that, and you know, maybe we'll like evolve the platform into live streaming a bit more. So have we got any other guys who are, because I can't keep up with the comments. So Shelley from Red Rose has said it has been improved this week and download super quick from Play Store. So talking about the app there. Bev saying keep liking and sharing, guys. Let's get the message out there. Andy Campbell, Burnley, man, we love the Burnley crew. Kevin Ross, Kevin, genuinely you are a force for good. Shout out to Kevin, Benny and Ian, who come all the way over from Burnley to Church on the Streets in Preston every week, and I know some of the work what those guys are doing. They're not just baptizing people in local rivers, they're actually feeding hundreds of families, hundreds in Burnley. So more power to you guys. So Simon Griffith says, I'll go on holiday to the furthest place and come in the meeting. Yeah, I don't think that counts, but do it. Yeah, do it, man. That'd be great. Show us all how beautiful the weather is wherever you go. So guys, I'm gonna give you another shout if you want to come on. If you want to come on and do a poem, or if you want to come on and play a tune, or if you even want to ask about that funky painting behind me, because that oil painting was a gift from somebody who didn't believe that he could be helped, and he made a promise, and he said, you know, if I get to this place, I'm going to donate that. And I was like, you don't have to, honestly. But he did, and fair play to him. It's centre stage in the house, because it's a constant reminder. You know, what we do saves lives, doesn't it? And I think it's a beautiful thing that we've got a really strong network of people. But what we need is more leaders. We need more people who are coming through to access some of the training. Shelley's been in St Anne's today, training people up on the leadership programme. You know, there's some great training opportunities to access in Red Rose Recovery. You just need to message Shelley, just go on the website and touch base with our guys. We'll put you on the speaker boot camp. We'll put you on the leadership training. There's boundaries. There's a whole training suite. And then from there, we'll help you map out your journey into, you know, wherever it is you want to go. So with that, we've done an hour. I'm going to have my tea if it's not burned, and then I'm going to go and pick up Caleb from the train station, who's been to St Anne's today, but it's been absolutely pouring it down in St Anne's, hasn't it, Shelley? Well, it has been here, so Shelley again is putting a number and an email up there. Good on you, good on you. And I don't know, you tell me, guys, is this a better format? You know, just live streaming and inviting anybody who wants to come into this space, or is it a better format when we have a Zoom and live stream the Zoom where we've got multiple people? You tell me, or you tell us. So I don't know, we're just testing it out. What I do know is there's loads of opportunities for people to jump in the space with the Lancashire User Forum, and really have an opportunity to make a difference. So I'm going to leave it there. Oh, do you know, there's loads of comments. Chris, I'd love to do a live share. I have secrets I've only ever told my sponsor, but I would share, but I'm only from your house. P. He's a top geezer, that fella. There's loads of comments that I've missed. Pamela Lewis, my first time on here, so I like it this way. Oh, thanks, Pam. Michael Dransfield, all you guys are why we do this. So thank you very much. And you know what? It might be raining outside, but the sun is shining on the inside. So good night, God bless, have a beautiful evening, and you know where we are if you need us. So take care, everyone. See you later, Stu Nevin. Take care. Bye bye.